how can we unplug from the matrix? How can we awaken? How can we come to know ourselves as who we are, as beings of pure love light incarnate in these physical vessels amidst this density? And how can we transform it and take absolute sovereign empowerment and personal responsibility for our experiences? Hello and welcome. So my name is Nikki. For those of you who haven't met me, who am I? Where to begin? It's a question, isn't it? It's a good question for all of us to hold and begin. Who am I? Who am I? I began my healing spiritual journey a while ago after years and years of sickness and realizing that I needed to take personal responsibility for my life, for my reality, for my health and for my well-being, and that if my body had developed sickness, illness, then that was something that could be unwound. That was something that could be undone or undeveloped. And so I had one of those moments of reaching out. I had 5 years of quite an intense, full-on healing journey into full recovery from unincurable autoimmune disease, lupus. There were a lot of things I learned along the way of that journey. I have always worked with clients since leaving university. I have been called to help and support people. I'm extremely sensitive. I am a water type. I am emotional. I'm an empath. I've had to learn how to navigate emotions and move things through my body, not hold things in my body. So it's been quite a journey for me. And over the last 3 years, at least, I have been getting a nudge to start a channel. The amount of people I've had say to me, Nikki, you really should have a YouTube channel. Have you thought of having a YouTube channel? Nikki, I've seen you with a YouTube channel. And I have resisted for various reasons, largely because I'm super sensitive. I tend to feel it all. So, of course, when you open yourself up to the public, you open yourself up for opinion, for scrutiny, and so on. And I think that probably prevents most of us from showing up, from having a voice and from speaking. However, it seems to be that it's the next part of my journey. It was a little bit encouraged, shall we say, by spirit, by my guides, by my higher self, because back in 2018, I began channeling a whole series of beliefs relating to the chakras. And these are my chakra cards that came through that I managed to get published thanks to Findhorn Press and Inner Traditions. And lo and behold, then came through the healing method through which we can change our beliefs. And my book, which was published in 2019. And then these cards came out in lockdown. So just as I was about to launch and build confidence, I had a big deep dive down many rabbit holes and then had to do a lot of inner processing, a lot of inner healing. And I tend to work my gene keys and so on. I'm kind of set up for working with the collective energy. And I'm here to bring in the new. That I have known all of my life, that I am not here to subscribe to the old, but I am here to create the new. And so this is what my channel will largely be about. It's how can we unplug from the matrix? How can we awaken? How can we come to know ourselves as who we are, as beings of pure love light incarnate in these physical vessels amidst this density? And how can we transform it and take absolute sovereign empowerment and personal responsibility for our experiences and manifest and create the world in which we want to live and be in? So here is me finding my way, showing up, creating support and encouragement to all of those of you who are on your journey, who perhaps have been awake for a long time spiritually, perhaps are waking up or have woken up over the last few years to the huge levels of distortion that we have consciously or unconsciously been living in. And how can you come to trust yourselves, to trust in your inner knowing, in your central alignment to how things could be? I basically, I'm here to create the new and to support us to be empowered to create the new, which is a love-based frequency. So when we're talking about the new, we're talking about moving from an old control, fear-based paradigm of compliance and control, largely manipulated through fear-based consciousness, into a love-based consciousness and frequency where we can open our hearts to the love that we are. We can come to know ourselves as love, come back to remembering that we were born of the creator of love, the prime creator of source, of all unity. And through our many lifetimes and our many multidimensional experiences and realities, we have been pulled, particularly on earth in this lifetime and through our many lifetimes here, into pain, into distortion, and so on. And so I guess my message for today that's just coming through now is, if we can look at our lives and we can look at the things that we have experienced as our lessons, as our empowerment, as our, oh my goodness, that's what I chose to incarnate into so that I could transform it, then take that as a mission, as a opportunity, because as beautiful souls incarnating here, we chose to clean up this mess that we've been part of through lifetimes, to take responsibility for also, but we chose to transform these energies: victimhood consciousness, fear-based consciousness, blame, guilt, shame, anger, separation. We chose to come here to transform at this time, the most extraordinary time to be alive. This is the great shift, and this is why we are here at this time, incarnate now, to witness the greatest shift upon earth. We get pushed and pulled around like we've fallen off the surfboard in the ocean, or we learn how to surf and we learn how to ride, and we learn how to use our consciousness, our mind, our heart, our spirit to work as one and to ride those waves and to steer us into a new reality that we are creating in every now moment. So that's what I will speak to and keep supporting people with. I guess there'll be various topics that will come up. I will talk about the Healing Insight Method from time to time, because it was gifted as a transformational self-help tool so that we can be empowered to support ourselves to ride this shift, to learn how to ride the waves, and to deal with our internal triggers, which is our hurts, pains, wounds. That's everything that we hold that is distorted as part of our experience of living within the distortion. And once we've got the tools to learn how to shift that, we really can unplug from the old and create the new. So it's quite exciting. I'm going to finish with a little card pull. It's this one. It was straightforward. So it's from the heart chakra. So maybe this is a good card for me in this first coming online. So we have Mother Mary with Yeshua and the peace of the dove in nature, the surrounding natures and the fields, with the energy of the deer. You see the deer at the bottom here. So that's representing the innocence. And there's a tenderness to the deer, and there's a tenderness of mother's love. Yeah, I've been working with that recently. There is nothing so great as the genuine love of the mother, be that in physical form, be this the divine mother, be this the love of Mother Earth for her children and her yearning for that reconnection. So the card I pulled is openness. How can we be open? How can we open our hearts to love? How can we open our hearts to each other? How can we open our hearts to the triggers, to the pains, to the parts of us that feel wounded or hurt, or that hold anger, that hold blame and shame or guilt or resentment? How can we open our hearts to these aspects of ourselves? So these may be referred to as shadow aspects. What I didn't say is I'm also a counseling psychologist. So I am a chartered psychologist, and I've been working in the fields of mental health, of drug dependency, and in private practice, bringing in healing. I'm a healer, bringing in healing and intuitive sensing and feeling, and diving into these wounded parts of ourselves so that we can bring healing, we can bring love, we can bring compassion, we can bring understanding. We can be open to all parts of the self so we can heal and we can become whole. So when we keep these parts separate, then we prevent our healing. So it's important to acknowledge all that we are, the higher aspects and the lower aspects, so that we can bring them in to the center, to be seen, to be witnessed, to be expressed sometimes, and to find a resolution. So we can come into forgiveness, we can come into compassion, and we can come back to love, in essence. So this card says, as an affirmation, which you could if you knew the Healing Insight method, which is all in the book. So you can learn the method through the book. There's all of the beliefs. You can teaches you how to muscle test. So you can muscle test through the subconscious mind. And at the end, you have the method of how to move through the process. So this makes you whole brained, puts you into a position where you're whole brained, using qigong and so on. I'll talk about that another time in another video. Or I've got an online training program that you can download for yourself and learn the method yourself if you want video input. So back to this. I am free to give generously to others and do so with love. I breathe love, light, and nourishment into my body, mind, and spirit, allowing my inner well of resource to be fully replenished. As I weave loving kindness out into the world, I receive loving kindness from the universal web. I give. This came up in a meditation I was holding on Tuesday. It is in giving that we receive, in the prayer of St. Francis. So openness, I give. Maybe can you give a little today, if not to yourself, to somebody else, or to yourself and somebody else, or to a plant, to an animal, to a tree, to a stranger. Message for giving. I'm going to stop there. I'm going to try and keep these short. And I send love, and I have a little excitement about how this may unfold. Bear with me as I find my feet, but I will show up and I will share little snippets of inspiration and support and encouragement for us to each take personal empowerment, to shift our programs, and to become all that we are, and to choose love and choose the new reality based on a love-based frequency. I'll leave it there. Blessings. Thank you for listening. If you want to share or subscribe, please do.